Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing. I'm your host, Edward Brown. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Use that number to answer the trivia questions for a 5-pack tanning certificate given away during the show. That certificate's not sponsored by the radio station, but by Tan Bella Tanning Salon, with 2 locations in San Francisco and 1 in Marin. Today's trivia theme is miscellaneous sports in movies. All right. And our special guest today is attorney and computer consultant Russell Jackman. Russell, welcome to The Best of Investing. How are you?
Well, it just feels like a Tuesday morning all over again.
Yeah. And for the audience who doesn't know, I also host a national sports and business show, and Russell is my co-host. So that's a lot of fun. And I thought, hey, you know what? We got to get him on The Best of Investing because he's not only an attorney, but a computer consultant. And we want to get his sage advice on those items.
Yeah,
okay.
Something you normally pay for. But yeah, last night we even saw each other at a networking event. So we're 3 for 3 as far as events, days and events go.
That's it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes.
Yes.
That was actually pretty good. You had what, about 15, 20 people there?
No, about 30, but we had 56 RSVPs. Since we're on the air, I might as well explain to people that I run a group called Linked Local Marin, which is a group with LinkedIn that is Marin's largest online networking resource.
Good.
And I inherited the group from a man named David Catane, who was a long-term care insurance person who unfortunately got cancer and died within just about a 5-month stretch.
Oh my gosh.
It was so sad because the guy, his business was long-term planning for people.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get to use any of the long-term plans that he made for himself.
Wow.
It's like the sort of thing where, a doctor spends all his time curing everybody else and then dies from the same disease that he is curing everybody else from.
Wow.
And he went to hospice in Marin, and they said, where they say, well, you have 6 months left to live.
Yeah.
To David, they said, why are you even here right now? You should be saying your final goodbyes to all your family. And within 2 weeks of going to hospice, he died.
I had the same thing happen to a friend of mine who is healthy as a horse, and he had there was pain in his shoulder. I mean, this guy used to take vitamins all the time, and he'd work out all the time. I don't know what his history was genetically, but just in great shape, and he was in his early 60s, and he had a pain in his shoulder, and he decided to go to the doctor, and the doctor ran some tests and said the same thing. He says, go home, you got 2 weeks to live. I mean, it wasn't even a visiting hospice situation, and sure enough, 2 weeks later he was gone.
Oh my gosh. That's just and not to get too maudlin on this show, I just turned 56 just 2 weeks ago, and my mom died at just before she turned 59.
Wow.
And
my dad died at age 53 and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
And my mom was also a real fitness guru and all that stuff. She could bike ride 20 miles. She could jog 4 miles. She could hike and swim and all of those things. She was, an early adopter of do you remember the co-op in Marin?
No.
There was a place that's over by where the DMV is now in Corte Madera. Okay. Where they used to have, it was like the early version of Whole Foods, except it was all, and my mom, was one of those believers in carob.
Yes. Substitute for chocolate.
Yeah, you remember that was a big fad that everybody eat carob, and much to my brother, my own dissatisfaction as like an 8 or 9 year old, it was like that was not going to happen with us. You can't.
Yeah, it's like giving you Hydrox cookies instead of Oreo cookies.
Those at least are made out of chocolate.
Yeah,
when you have, it's hard to tell a Hydrox from an Oreo if you're blindfolded, but you can tell the difference between carob.
Actually, I didn't mind carob too much.
I like the Tiger's Milk bars.
Yeah, oh yeah,
But
those are actually pretty good.
that's about the only thing that I'll eat that contains carob at this stage. But yeah, my mom got a very rare blood disease that she made too many red blood cell platelets and
Oh wow.
white blood cell platelets, and the body is not programmed to eliminate those because
Yeah.
obviously you need them. And the platelets are like a box that hold in your white blood cells. So imagine if you made too many cardboard boxes and were ordered not to destroy them. What does the body do with that?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
know?
that's a good point. Hey Russell, tell you what, stay
Oh,
with us. We got to cut to our break here, and then we'll get on to
okay.
some real business.
Business stuff, I guess
This was
so.
the medical part of the show. Okay, we're talking sports in the movies. First trivia question: what sport was played in the movie Top Gun? All right, that's our trivia question. Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins that tanning certificate, which is worth over $100. Again, the trivia question is, what sport was played in the movie Top Gun? Stay with us. The Best of Investing will be right back. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my special guest, Russell Jackman, who is not only an attorney, but a computer consultant. We've talked computers before, and he knows a lot. So we're going to get into that in just a minute here. First trivia question was, what sport was played in the movie Top Gun?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Very good, Russell. How did you know that one?
I heard about it somewhere before.
You heard about it somewhere before. Okay, I want to make a mention here for the Mount View Hotel and Spa, giving 15% off this summer, $395 a night for the weekends, $295 a night for the weekdays. You got to check them out. They've got one of the nicest pools around. You're right in Calistoga, right on Lincoln. Mount View Hotel and Spa. All right. So Russell, what are we going to talk about today? You want to talk about attorney stuff or computer stuff?
Yeah, you want to talk about computer stuff? That's always something that
Sure.
I have an unlimited capacity for discussion on.
Okay.
And I started working with computers in 1977. So I've done, and going back to my mom for just a quick second,
Yeah.
she didn't understand computers, but she knew I had an innate ability for them.
Yeah.
So what she did was she read about a thing in Berkeley at the Lawrence Livermore Labs where they had a Commodore PET. Do you remember those at all?
Well, I remember the Commodore 64.
No, this is at least 8 years before that.
Really?
No, they had a thing called the Commodore PET, which was really the first like accessible home computer for most people.
Right.
And they had one on display at the Lawrence Livermore Labs that you could play with. Huh. And but they had a rule that you could only play 10 minutes on the computer or like maybe half an hour on it, so that everyone who wanted to play on it had a chance.
Sure.
And so what my mom did, what she would take me to Lawrence Livermore Labs, drop me off there, go home to Tiburon, and then come back and pick me up later in the day, like at 5 o'clock. I would just go, I would play on the computer for half an hour, go wait back online because there was a line that went around the building to use the computer, wait all the way for my turn again, play on the computer for half an hour, and then wait back online again.
Oh my gosh, you're a diehard.
Yeah, because I was so fascinated with it. I was so fascinated.
Oh yeah. Well, you want to hear something funny is in 1979, when I was in college, I was taking a quote computer science class, which they were teaching you how to code like in COBOL and Fortran, which I loved business, but I just hated doing this. And I remember this guy saying, the professor saying, yeah, there's this fairly new company out there. It's like a couple of guys made this computer to compete with IBM, and they made it in their garage, and they named it after some kind of a fruit like a peach or apple or something like that. And sure enough, he was talking about Apple computer. And I remember telling the whole class, this thing will never work. They can't compete against IBM.
That was the exact opposite for me. When I first saw those early computers, I was like, wow, not only can we own them, but they'll let kids use them. Because remember, prior to like 1977, computers took up like the side of a building.
Yes.
And there were no games on them. You didn't play with them. They were big business, serious machines
Well,
that,
we
you
always
know,
use punch cards, the IBM 39s. I think
yeah,
it was
I
37.
missed out on the punch card thing, thank God. That
Yeah.
but I was using, you know, BASIC, and I was using Pascal,
Oh
and
yeah.
I
Yeah.
even looked at COBOL and Fortran, but I couldn't understand
I
why
I
a
still
kid.
couldn't understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, from there, computers have morphed into
Yeah.
such a major part of everything everybody does. And so that's why I have my business called Computer Consulting Services, where I teach people how to use computers, especially seniors
Yeah.
that have been left out. And it's been right during COVID, so many of them
Oh, good
were
point.
isolated and had no other way of communicating. And to me, the computer is such a great tool. The computer itself may not be as fascinating as how it can help just about any occupation,
Yeah.
any hobby, any business. And I've loved that.
Sure.
And so, you know, to me, I've spent a lifetime trying to be in between. I'm not a computer designer, and I'm not a programmer. I'm not an engineer, but
Okay.
I know all those things
Yeah.
so that I can help people that don't have any clue about it understand what they need to know in order to get their computer to work. And I've spent a lifetime doing that.
Well, you want to
That
here's something funny is the very first computer I purchased for our business cost $3,000, and it had 40 megabytes of hard drive. And we figured, you know, it'll take us many years to use that up, which by the way, we were right on that one. But the guy was so sophisticated in trying to teach us. We said, how do you even turn the thing on? I mean, we didn't even
that
know, you know, it was kind of funny. Hey, tell you what, we're going to go to our second trivia question here. Which fictional team did Roy Hobbs play for in the movie The Natural? That's the question.
oh no.
Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins that tanning certificate. Want to make a mention here also for the Transcendence Theater. They are having their Full Monty and Enchanted Evening. You got to check them out. They do an awesome show. It's
They're
just
gonna
like
do
being on
spam a
Broadway.
lot. They're gonna do spam a
Are they
lot
going to do
as
Spam a
well,
lot? Oh, that'll be so
which
fun.
is the show that I think I'm gonna go see.
Okay, well, see the other ones too. If you've never been to Transcendence Theater, they do an awesome job. All right, stay with us. You're listening to the Best of Investing. Don't touch that dial. We're going to be right back. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Edward Brown here, along with Russell Jackman. Our second trivia question of sports and movies is what fictional team, excuse me, did Roy Hobbs play for in The Natural? Remember Roy Hobbs? That was Robert Redford. What was the name of the fictional team?
Everyone's gonna think I'm so darn smart because I know all the answers to these questions. It's only because you asked me those 2 days ago.
That's
And that
true.
is it's the Knights.
The Knights, very good. All right, and want to make a quick mention also here for Gym Guys, GUYZ. It's awesome. They have basically it's like a portable gym. They come to you rather than you having to go to the gym. You call 855 dash Gym Guys, and again that's guys with a Z. Give them a call, check them out. You can get your first session is free with a complimentary assessment if you mentioned the Best of Investing radio show. So again, call 855 Gym Guys, and the guys is with a Z. So moving on to our computer consultant, Russell Jackman. You know, it's funny. Who would have
Well,
thought?
I wanted to branch. Yeah, I wanted to branch off of what you were saying earlier, which is that, you know, you had a $3,000 computer with a 40 megabyte hard drive. And we've seen the transformation of people spending thousands of dollars on computers and having hundreds of dollars worth of information on there, to having computers that are worth hundreds of dollars and storing priceless amounts of information on there.
Interesting. And the thing is, now your phone can do pretty much all of that.
Oh, your phone has more complexity and ability. In fact, in an Apple iWatch, there's more sophistication and more power than all the computers that were used to land the spaceship on the moon.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that you can do more things, and there's more power in an iWatch right now. than what you
And
can do.
there's more sophisticated information in a single cell in your body than all those computers, all
Oh,
those
yes.
iWatch, Apple and
Oh,
iWatches and
yes,
all that stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Most people that, yeah, don't realize that. But
yeah.
I mean, that's why human beings haven't duplicated everything, the perfect,
Oh, the
mechanical
clone.
human, or yeah,
No,
or
that's a
what
good point.
AI is trying to do. It's
Yeah,
still what we understand about the human mind is so finite that trying to make a computerized version of thought still has so many pitfalls in it. I could do an
yeah,
entire show on just that, but there were other things I wanted to get back into, and
sure.
that is a couple of things. One is, if people are listening to me now and you have a PC, you need to think strongly about if your PC is Windows 11 compatible, because in October of 2025, Microsoft is discontinuing Windows 10. And that, for me, I'm already sort of in semi panic mode myself, because
Wow.
I checked all the computers in my house and not one of them is Windows 10 compatible. So, I mean, Windows 11 compatible. So I have to buy new machines for
Yeah.
everybody in
Now,
my house.
is that just basically a sales ploy? I mean,
No, it's not. It's not
what's
a
the real
sales ploy.
reason? Well,
It's
I mean, think about
there
not for
is.
you, for them. I mean, it's like
No, there is. And let me
uh,
use this moment to explain why that is. Okay, when an operating system comes out, okay, it has security features and so forth that are built into the system. All
okay.
right, when an operating system is around for about 10 years, which is where you're at with Windows 10,
Uh-huh.
everything about it is known. Okay, people know every little single bit and element of Windows 10. And so developing security patches for it and being able to protect it becomes impossible, because the book is out on it. Everybody knows everything. And so you have to introduce another operating system to manage the challenges and to offer protection.
So does this
That
all come around just because of hackers? The whole reason for it?
it comes around because of human nature.
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
because of the hackers part of it. I mean, I
Yes,
know that
but
there's some stuff
also,
that's
there's
okay.
more than that. There's more than that. I mean,
Okay.
when you look at when Windows 10 was just being introduced, HDMI and high definition video and high definition data was something that was really like just premiering, and now it's a standard thing. Okay,
Yeah.
things like SSDs, solid state hard drives. None of those computers in the early days of Windows 10 had those, and almost all of them do now. The DVD was a big deal
Yeah.
in when
Yeah.
Windows 10 was introduced, and
Oh, yeah,
now
it better
you're.
be it better be better than Vista. Remember what a disaster that
Oh
was?
yeah, no, and do I remember Vista? Do I remember Windows ME? Yes, I remember. I go all the way back to Windows 3.1.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said there, but it's that Windows 10 works great. I mean, and that's a
Yeah,
problem with
it
it,
does.
is it's really going to be hard to pry Windows 10 out of everybody's fingers and make them move to 11,
Yeah.
which has design changes in it that people are not all that thrilled with, and certain things that are not wonderful, even though it's a safer, faster architecture. And there's programs and hardware that won't work with Windows 11.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
some
Hey, Russell, stay with us. We've got to go to one more
okay.
commercial break here. We've got these hard breaks. A third trivia question. What actor played the coach in the original Mighty Ducks movie? Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins that tanning certificate, which, by the way, is worth over $100 by Tan Bella Tanning Salon. 2 locations in San Francisco and 1 in Marin. Stay with us. The best of investing. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to the best of investing. One more time. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Russell Jackman, computer aficionado, we'll call you.
Well, I'm a computer consultant, that's the
Well,
official title.
that's true. What actor played the coach in the original Mighty Ducks movie?
Emilio Estevez. And I
Very
will
good.
say,
3 for 3.
and how many years have I been doing radio with you now?
At least a few.
I think it's like 5 now or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
probably is. Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've gone 3-0 in the trivia. Listen,
Yeah,
it's
but
only
you
because I
had a
knew all
little.
the answers.
You knew all the answers this time. Yeah. Well,
I
actually,
knew all the answers.
when we did the show a couple of days ago, how many did you get right?
One,
Okay.
the
Yeah, but that means
volleyball
you have a good
question.
memory, though. You remember these over 2 days.
Oh
That's
yeah,
good.
yes,
Very good.
yes. It's for, thank God I can remember what happened 2 days ago. You know,
Exactly.
sometimes
That
with
means you're
my
not getting too old.
once you're a parent, you kind of wonder, can you even remember what happened, you know, like 30 seconds ago with the life that you have going on with I have a
True.
couple of twins that are about to be age 12, and you know, you get stuck in the present tense when you've got kids. You
Yeah.
really, you know, you don't
Well,
get
especially
time
twins.
to sit around and think about what the
Yeah.
trivia was a couple days ago. But anyway, what
Yeah.
I was gonna say is, and I was talking a little bit about it last night with some other computer guys that were at my LinkedIn event, and that is that uh, 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 computer security is always reactive. Okay, it
Mhm.
can't be proactive. You can't guard against a virus that hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
So and I also pointed out, you know, my dad used to give me my dad was a doctor, he used to give me these medical journals,
Okay.
and he wanted to make me a doctor, and I would never become a doctor because especially all that stuff grossed me out so much. But I would there's one thing about a medical journal, and this is true. Every single entry in the medical journals that there are involves
Reactive.
some poor bastard who came down with it and
Yeah.
usually died of something.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
that's the problem too, is that you can't fix a virus until it's already out and some poor fool has already fallen victim to it.
Yep.
And then they report it, and then they analyze it, you know, and find a cure for it in the, you know, whether it's the real virus, real life virus, or a computer virus. Computer virus is really not that much different than a human virus, and a lot of times they get spread by stupidity. Like one time my uncle told me to delete a file that I had on my system, and I said, you know, you're an endodontist and I'm a computer consultant, why are you telling me to delete this file? He
Ah.
said, you know, you don't know anything about computers. Why am I going to listen to you about it? He said, well, a friend of mine who's an insurance salesman got an email telling me that my computer was infected
Oh
with this
no.
file and it doesn't show up on any virus scan. So he told me that I got to delete it right away. And he did delete it right away. And do you know what that file was? The file
Oh.
was not a virus. The file in itself actually was an important Windows system file that you needed to have Windows run correctly. And the next time he rebooted, his computer crashed and he had to have his operating system
So
reinstalled.
now something like that, is that just someone being mean versus,
Yes.
okay, so
And
they're
taking
not,
advantage of people's stupidity,
yeah, but you
taking
know what,
advantage of,
it's what I don't understand is I mean, if you're that smart to be able to do something like that, I mean, I understand the ones where they're trying to steal, get into your computer to steal information, steal passwords or whatever, because they can financially benefit. But it's like being vandalism with
that's
tagging on
exactly it
straight.
though. That's exactly it. You tell me, you walk around, you know, the major cities in San Francisco and tell me what people do to that city. I mean, people vandalize stuff all the time.
No, I
There's
understand, but I guess what
a
I'm getting at is, I mean, you have to have some brains to figure out. I mean, maybe that one's a little
yeah,
easier.
that scam didn't take any brains at all. It
That
what
one
it
didn't,
did
yeah,
was it took advantage of the gullibility
yeah,
of people and their ability to just spread a virus with their mouths
yeah.
instead of spreading a virus by a high-tech computer program. And so, you know,
Gotcha. Yeah,
sabotage and people, you know, it could have started as a joke from one person to another, and
yeah,
then using the internet and rumors, the way people love to react on rumors that they
But how
get.
do they, how would they
about-
even know that their plan worked on your computer?
They don't.
They don't. Okay.
But
They do this.
again,
They're just
how
throwing
does
it out of the
someone
net.
how
Yeah.
does someone that, sets fire to something know that it's going to burn up, other people's houses or a
Only,
whole
only
health
if you
center?
watch it.
Yeah,
But,
that's what they do, is that it's that same kind of element of like arson, that you don't
well,
care like who gets destroyed, you just care that stuff gets destroyed.
well, I'm glad that I didn't get one of those. I'm still waiting for my Nigerian lotto because I know that one's real.
Oh yeah, exactly. What is old is new again, and
Yeah.
the same thing. Like when you get an email that says, I've got naked pictures of your wife. Click
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
people do that, and they still do, and they still fall victim to the phone calls, the junk phone calls that say, I'm from Microsoft, and I know that you have a virus on your computer. Let me log into your system.
Oh, yeah.
And and you say, oh well, I would never fall for that. I've actually had attorneys that I work with
Sure.
fall for that
Yeah.
sort of
Oh,
mishugas.
yeah. Are you ready for this? You've either heard this or you'll like this. I had a friend who actually worked at a big computer company. I think I can't remember if it was Intel or Microsoft or whatever. He was legit. I mean, he really worked in the service part of the company, right? To help people with their computers for real, right? And I say, what kind of stupid questions would you get? And he says, mostly it was from the attorneys, and they would get all frustrated because they read what would pop up would be press any key to continue,
And
and they
they
kept
couldn't
calling.
find the any key.
They couldn't find the any key. Exactly.
Yes, that's an old Simpsons joke. That's an old that goes back to Homer Simpson.
It does.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Well, this was way before Homer Simpson. I'll tell you.
But it's well, attorneys are hard because they ask, and I've said this to my clients, the best question you can ask your computer consultant starts with the word how. Because I can teach you how to do anything on the computer if you ask me the right way and you can tell me what you want to get accomplished.
Sure.
If the computer can do that sort of thing, I can make the computer do it for you and teach you how to do it. But the worst question you can ask a computer consultant starts with the word why.
Why?
Exactly.
Why? Why is this?
Yeah, because you'll get one of two answers. One is going to be an explanation that is so technical you wouldn't understand it. And I'm not trying to talk down to you, but usually
no, you're right. Hey, Russell, stay with us. We got to cut.
Hold on. The
Continue.
second,
Okay, hold on. We got to cut out now. Continue. We'll get back. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Russell Jackman. Okay, Russell, continue on. We had to cut you off short.
Yeah, my second point is on to why it's not good to ask a question such the word why, is that the explanation most of the time, say 95% of the time, is going to be because that's the way the programmer designed it. That was what a committee, group of people all decided. Everything you see on the computer screen has been not only approved by a committee, but argued over ad infinitum. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's the font or whether it's the color or the size or the shape or the design of any single thing you see on the computer screen. Remember, nothing is there when you start with the computer. You have to build everything from scratch. So when you're on Word or you're on Excel or Outlook or whatever,
don't forget Lotus 1-2-3.
Oh, I go back to WordStar.
WordStar. And Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah. Yeah, WordStar, and I go back to spreadsheets like VisiCalc.
I didn't have that. I did have a Lotus 1-2-3, and I had WordPerfect. And it's so funny.
Yeah, no,
I think I did it in Lotus 1-2-3 with the spreadsheet. I took a class and they taught us how to do macros. And I remember I was dating my now wife. She was my girlfriend at the time. And I did this I created this little computer program on the macros to do ... and make it into like a heart and some words. And that thing took me 8 hours to figure out. Can you believe that?
They haven't got, well, the thing is, now that they've reinvented everyone has done everything in macros,
Yeah.
anything you can imagine. You just go on the internet and just say, I need a macro that does this. And someone's already done it. You just grab it and use it. That's one
Yeah.
thing that's great about the computers. The compiled knowledge continues to pile up on everything.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing now how often I find myself saying, hey, Alexa, what does the K in strike mean? Or hey, go on to Google and ask it, what's the largest mountain in America, or
can you do the dishes for me and make my bed? That's what I want.
and we're gonna find out that AI isn't any more interested in doing it than we are when all is said and done.
Yeah, the robot's gonna say, yeah, I ain't doing
Yeah,
this doors for you.
well, that's the whole thing about Marvin the Paranoid Android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which if you haven't read or seen the movie of, I think is worth seeing, because Marvin the Paranoid Android has been my role model as to why I got into the computer business because
Right?
I knew computers would start. Yeah, I knew computers would start having a bad attitude. The smarter we made them, the worse their attitude was going to get towards
Absolutely. Hey,
us.
Russell, you
So,
know what? We need to give people give out your information to anybody listening
great.
who needs some computer consulting. Go ahead.
That's wonderful. The phone number, if they want to reach me, is 415-892-2617. They can also reach me at facebook.com/calmputer consult. That's CALMPUTER, all one word, consult at the end, no S. And you can also reach me at calmputerconsult@AOL.com. So yes, I still use AOL because I've been using it for 40 years, and I haven't had to change my address. So
You know what? I'm the same
nice.
way, and I'll tell you, sometimes AOL is the only program that works when other ones don't.
I know, it's
It's like
weird.
flip flop. It is. Hey, Russell, you know what? Thank you so
also-
much. I tell you, we got to go to our thoughts for the day and then check out here. You ready?
Oh
What do you?
boy, it's the same thoughts from
No,
from 2 days ago.
I think these are different. Okay, maybe they're different. What do you call a nun who sleepwalks? A Roman Catholic.
Yeah, you did use that
I did
one.
use that one.
Okay,
And
I won't spoil them.
respect your parents. They passed school without Google, like the rest of us.
Right.
Don't forget that.
That is on theme. So
It's on theme. Okay, tune in next week to the Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away more free prizes for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.